Welcome back, everybody. Jackets off. You know what that means. Very funny. Actually, it's interview time. Tifa, you're like an icon to the channel. Try to embrace it every once in a while. People love you. Anyway, today we're interviewing one of the composers for PizzaTower. The one, the only, Clascy Jitto! A little dramatic, I'm sorry. They also work under the name RiZi quite often as well. We're going to take a peek into the mind of one of the most creative people I've run into on the internet in a long time. They make music, they do graphic design, they do game dev, they do all kinds of stuff. So, without further delay, let's get them up on screen. Tivi. Screen? Maybe, like for the interview? Thanks. Hey.
Shit. Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
All right, well, let's get started, I guess.
All right.
I don't want to waste your time. Okay. First off, what do you go by? So we know what to call you.
If it's just in like regular conversation, then JC is the way to go.
That sounds good. Sounds good. Nice to meet you, JC.
Hello.
So the next question I had, and this is kind of a doozy, I think, because there's a lot to go through. Is there a reason you have like 3 or more pseudonyms? Because I know you have Frostix, RiZi, Clascy Jitto, or Clascy Jitto, sorry. Is that how you say it, by the way?
Well, I just pronounce it Clascy Jitto.
Jitto.
But I'm fine. I like to see other people's pronunciations of it because I think it's funny. So I just let people pronounce it the way they do.
Yeah.
At first, I started with just Frostix. That was the only name I used. But since I had used that name since like 20. Like I've been using that name for like so long. Yeah. And then after a while, it was like, oh yeah, I'm making like I feel like proud of my stuff now, but like it's under the same name where I made like the worst song ever.
Oh no.
And so I was like, this is like weird to like keep, because at first I wanted to keep the same name throughout like my whole life, because I wanted it to be able to like, oh yeah, like sort of like an archival thing. Like you're able to like go back and easily find the stuff. But then after a while, the name just kind of sounded gross. And so I went on to RiZi, but then I realized, like, wait, most of the video game stuff is still, like, under the Frostix name. And there was, like, a certain period of time where, like, I don't know, I have had some, like, weird, like, feeling about, like, oh yeah, people love the video game music, but they don't come for me. Like, I was just like weird about it, but so I decided to, in order to avoid that altogether, I had the video game music also separate. So I called it Clascy Jitto, which I think I made up like on the spot, pretty much.
I heard you came up with it because of what is it?
The Clascy Jitto regrets thing.
Cuspo, yeah, it's also a really hard thing to say.
It's based off of that, and also the acronym for that is CJ, which is just the reverse of JC, and so it sort of works both ways.
That's awesome. Did you watch a lot of those cartoons growing up and stuff?
I remember watching like Rugrats on the TV.
Yeah,
just like on demand.
Sure.
But not frequently. I just like the intro.
It is crazy. How do you define your music? Speaking of, style and stuff.
Recently, I would just say it's like, that's a good question. I don't know. It's just like, it's either, I feel like there's like sort of like two sides to it. It's either like some like sampled like Plunderphonics type, like just like either like 100% or like almost 100% sampled stuff.
Yeah.
Or it's like some weird like like really like compositional jazz stuff or whatever. With like, and of course in both sides there's the same, it sort of feels connected with like the electronic experimental type stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it either. I have no idea how to describe what I make.
Me either. I'm constantly at battle trying to figure out what genre I'm making at any given time. Like, it's so difficult because there's so many, right? And then you're like, well, I'm kind of using this and I'm also doing this, but like, what is that a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, genres for me just kind of feel like stupid.
Yeah.
Like, there's so, because genres can only be sort of defined like after the fact.
That's
so
true.
like when you're making something, you're not like going like, I'm gonna make a blah 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 type of song. You're usually going in there with your influences and like what's already in your head. So it's just kind of, so it's that like genre stuff has always been like difficult for me because I never had any idea what kind of music I was making from the get-go.
Yeah. I think you use that to your advantage, dude, because it just, you let that lack of direction take you in new, crazy, awesome directions. Did you just always have that style, or was like, you said like you had that worst song ever or whatever, was it like?
Well, I had been making music, well, I've been technically making music since like I was in like the single digits of age. And so like, and for the most part I had kept the same name throughout, so there's songs that I have made like when I was like 12 that are like under the same Frostix name.
Uh-oh.
So it's like weird. I remember I started out using like shitty like music making apps on your phone where you would just like put together different like pre-made loops together. And so that's what most of the old stuff is.
Yeah. It's like Bandcamp and stuff. I don't know. What do you use nowadays?
I just use FL Studio. It's easy. It's the easiest to use for me. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
When I was in school, in high school, like my last year of high school, my guitar teacher, well, there's like a music songwriting club or whatever, and I was there, and then someone well, the teacher wanted to like record someone's song, and I saw him open up Pro Tools, and the UI for that looks insane, and he couldn't even like figure out like how to, what was it? He was trying to figure out like how to like add a track, or he was trying to do something like very simple, and he didn't know how, because opening that software just looks like you're hacking into the mainframe.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're definitely hacker mode when that shit opens up. Pro Tools, and there was another one I feel like that I used that confused the shit out of me. Oh, well, I mean, honestly, any tracker. I'm really bad at like, looking at trackers.
I used a tracker once, and it is fun. It is fun to use once you figure it out, but it's just very difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could say that about any DAW, but
yeah,
it feels especially prevalent, like out the gate with trackers.
Especially because my brain only works like when my brain sees the music going vertical, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's like going on, and you're like, wait a minute.
I don't know how long that is.
Where am I? I mean, I can hear where I am, but I can't see it. Yeah. It's funny. The first song you chose, and the way that we got this set up is I picked 2 songs, he picks 2 songs, but they picked 2 songs. I'm sorry, did I? What, pronouns do you use?
Any.
Okay. Well, I'll just say they.
Use they. You can use they though.
Yeah. Yeah, they picked 2 songs, I picked 2 songs, and then we listen to them and talk about the songs and stuff. And yeah, but the first song is Lose Yourself.
We're in the blockhouse, a short distance from the launching pad of the rocket. The blockhouse has concrete walls, heavy walls 10 feet thick, and a roof with reinforced concrete 27 feet thick.
What kind of daydreams do you have?
Yo, it's such a sick song.
Thank you, thank you.
So, how long have you been just professionally using samples like that? Because this sounds like so much experience.
Well, samples have sort of always like been like somewhat present in my music, just like throughout. But I think a switch was flipped like sometime around like when did it, like around like 2021, 22, something I don't know, something in my brain was like, okay, I'm tired of putting notes in the MIDI thing. I want to have fun with samples now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a solid. Yeah, I think it was like sometime around like early 2022, I would say, is when I started like focusing on using primarily samples.
Well, I mean, it's paid off very clearly because it's so good, especially the little like chopped up, I want to say chords that you got going
like
on
the
most of
jazz sample thing.
Yeah.
Originally the song, like after that part, it just ended there. But then I was like, this feels like too like brief, to like too short, and so I just kept going.
Yeah, I have the issue where I come up with maybe 2 good ideas and then I'm like, I got nothing left, and then it ends right there. But
that's how I usually do, just keep going until I can't anymore.
Yeah.
But something about that, it just felt like too, like I felt, because when I was making it, I didn't want it to like overstay its welcome, but at the same time, that felt like way like too short.
Yeah.
And then while I was thinking of ways I could make it longer, I randomly popped into my head the idea of just like sampling the Rhythm Heaven Manzai Birds mini game, and that's when it all clicked, I think.
Is that what that was? I thought I heard Rhythm Heaven in there.
Yeah, it's the endless game from Fever, Manzai Birds. I think it's only Japan exclusive.
So, do you sample a lot of video game stuff?
Usually I just sample stuff that I enjoy listening to. So sometimes I'll sample video game music, sometimes I'll sample some like random like bossa nova stuff that I listen to. Like I think that's no, not trying to toot my own horn here, but I think that's what makes sort of what I make sort of special in a way, because like I'm not just like going, I'm not just trying to find something to sample. I usually think of sampling something if I'm already listening to it and enjoying it for the most part. I think there's only one song that I've made which has a sample from a song that I absolutely hate.
Oh shit.
It's from the same album. It's the first song from the same album that song is from. And it plays for like 2 seconds, and it's like a small background thing, and it's like this. I'm only using this because it works.
Oh my god.
hate this song. But everything else, it's a song that I genuinely enjoy. It's either a song that I genuinely enjoy or a song that I sampled from a different song that is definitely sampled from somewhere else, but I don't feel like looking for it.
Right. Yeah, I run into that a lot too, where it's just layers and layers of people stealing shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. I wish I knew, but whatever. This works. Do you ever like create your own vocals and like samples, like what do you call it, like Foley?
I did a lot of that. What am I talking about? I just started talking without even thinking. That's it. Because I remember there's for example, Good Eatin' from the PizzaTower soundtrack. I think some of the percussion I'd recorded by like knocking around like random plates that I had in my home with a fork or something. Something like that. I like doing that like occasionally. I don't do it like that often, but when I do, it's usually fun. I usually just do that for like sound effects.
That makes sense. Do you play any instruments or anything like that, or is it just all in the head?
I play guitar, and I know how to make myself sound good on a piano. Like there's some songs on the PizzaTower soundtrack where I'm actually playing the guitar, and there's some older stuff that I've made that have guitar on it.
I'm kind of the same. I have, you know, an okay understanding of guitar, but also like an okay understanding of piano. So like,
Yeah.
I can fake it till I make it there. What's your favorite genre of music?
That is a good one. Ooh, that is very good. I think for me, it's a tie of like. I've been really into like bossa nova stuff, but then also just like plunderphonic stuff, like very just like heavily sampled stuff. Most of my music nowadays isn't. I think the source of how my music sounds now can be traced back to this album Holiday Plugin by Fuzito Blender, which is just it's a fantastic album if you want to listen to like silly songs with samples with like the 909 drum machine.
Yeah.
Like that is it's just a very good album to me. I love that album so much.
You said it's Thunderphonics?
Plunderphonics. It's just a term that's just like it's all samples.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. I'm definitely have to look that up. So
And
oh, go ahead.
actually, and then also I've also been listening to a lot of like old school like hip hop and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
I've been because I remember like back in like 2017, 2018, and I don't know, it's like the 2017, 2018, those years like are like a blur for me.
Yeah.
But I like when Future Funk was kind of like popping off for a bit.
Yeah.
I remember I was into that, and then now I've recently trying to go back and listening back to those, and some of it is very good, and then some of it is aged terribly.
Yeah.
But
it's like,
for the most part, I've been enjoying that as well. I've been recently just been like, on top of everything I've said, I have been like going back and just listening to the stuff I used to listen to.
Do you just out of curiosity listen to video game music on your own time?
Yeah. I remember there's a Jet Set Radio, the original one. Future is good too, but I like the first game better in my opinion. I haven't listened to that. And the Japan Sonic CD OST, that's pretty good. There's probably something else that I'm missing, but that's all I have in my head right now.
For sure. I mean, great picks. I listen to like Naganuma stuff all the time, just because I'm obsessed. I don't know. So what do you do to get inspired whenever you're getting into music and stuff?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know, cause like I literally, it's just like it's like a weird feeling I get in my head. That it's just like it's like a little ghostly demon is like, come to the computer, come on, you want to make something? I go, okay. Like I don't know. It just sort of happens.
The ghost of inspiration just strikes you.
Yeah, it just pulls me towards the computer, and then I I lose consciousness, and then I wake up, and the song is made.
You're like, yeah, another Clascy Jitto classic. Wow. Do you like? Are you a big media watcher? Like cartoons, TV shows?
I've been the past couple of like weeks. I've been how do I pronounce it? I've been watching. I've been watching a bunch of like films directed by Masaki Yuasa. Because a while back, I watched Kaiba, which is very very good show. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, the white lion, right? It's
No,
like a white.
it's-
Never mind. I'm thinking
Yeah,
too
no,
old.
It's it's basically like memories are like memories are transferable like through a chip, and it's basically, I don't want to describe it too much because it's very much best enjoyed going completely blind. But lately I watched Lou Over the Wall, which is very, I think it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Just right now. It's very good. I recommend it to everyone.
For sure. We're up for another song. This time, the one I picked, I got Break from the Noise. Is there anything we should know about this song before we play it?
I don't know. No.
Bet. All right, let's get it. What a vibe, dude.
Wow.
I love the do, but like, you know, you cut it off just in time to go into something else. Like you're cutting our expectations and then putting us somewhere else. You know what I mean? I love that.
Thank you.
Where'd you get the vocal sample from?
It's a Cardigans song. I forget what it's called, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very pleasing.
And then there's the There's this other sample which I found just like going through like a random like rabbit hole on YouTube. I don't know what it's called because it's titled in Japanese, but if you just look up like Yamamo moment number 1, you should find it. I just enjoy it a lot. It's very good.
For sure. You just audio surfing on the internet, finding awesome samples and shit.
Yeah. I just like finding like good stuff to listen to.
Is there like a place you go to usually do that specifically, or just like YouTube or wherever?
Usually I just like the way I find music is just that I go through like different, instead of like sorting through like genre, I just like go through like different artists I like and then see who they collabed with, and then like what label they're on and what other artists are on that label and whatnot. So a lot of it is just like just going through like layers and layers of like that sort of stuff. And so if I usually try to find it on YouTube or someplace, and if I can't find it anywhere online, if I can't find it anywhere on like YouTube or whatever, I either like buy it like physically, or I go on SoulSeek and look for it there.
Interesting. I definitely need to dig more because I love sample-based music, but I just don't have the resources. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go find stuff. I usually end up sampling video game stuff because it's what I know, but you know.
Video game stuff can have some silly little sounds.
For sure. What was it like working on PizzaTower? That's a loaded question as fuck, but you know.
It was like mad chill.
Yeah?
Like it was very yeah, that's really like it is just very chill. Like it's just like this is what we're working on. This is the idea. Who wants to do it? I do. And then we just send them like different like work in progress stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
There's a moment where that I think is funny. For Dungeon Freak Show, I posted a work in progress of it, and there is this the switch up that you hear in the final song. It has like this stupid like square wave just going. That originally wasn't there. But I think if my memory serves me right, Sauce suggested the idea of like just putting a melody there, and I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. And then like I opened back up the project file and I was like, how am I supposed to put a melody here? What goes over this?
Yeah.
And then I just started pressing like random keys on my MIDI keyboard and messing with the pitch automation. I think the pitch automation was done live actually. Like I just recorded it like with the MIDI keyboard also like at the same time.
Wow.
And I was like, this is funny, and I'm keeping it in the song.
Of course. You know, when I listen to the music that you've made and then the music that you've made for PizzaTower, it's like it just sounds like they let you do your thing. You know what I mean? Because it's perfect. It sounds exactly like you. Like, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff resonates.
Yeah.
And it's so distinct too. Like, you know, Sauceman's tracks versus your tracks. Like you can tell.
I think I'm surprised that like people like don't find it jarring, because I feel like our songs, while they like do share some sort of stylistic similarities, I think it's very easy to tell that like these are different people making these songs.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I feel like they contrast a lot, but I think that works in favor of just the game itself. I think it works for it.
Yeah. There's moments, you know, like the game itself is off the wall, So like
Yeah.
sometimes it calls for, you know, Sauceman's tracks, or it calls for your tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just works. Did you and Sauceman like inspire each other and work together a lot, or?
Okay. So I think, at least from my perspective, I think this sort of just like from my perspective, I think hearing each other's songs sort of inspired us to make things more of a certain way, or at least it did for me when I would listen to what he would like make for it, and then I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. I should try to do something like this or whatever. I'm trying to think of other stuff because I feel like I remember. I think he once I think for like a brief moment the It's Pizza Time like project file was like busted, and he like sent it to me to like fix it, and then I had to like send it back. I think that was the closest to like an well, no, it's not an actual collab. What am I talking about? I didn't do anything. I just fixed it. But yeah, I think it was more of just like listening to what we would make, and then it sort of bounced off as sort of inspiration for the other.
So who made the first track? Was it Sauceman?
Oh, definitely Sauce. Definitely made the first. Actually, it might have been the old tutorial theme by Dimwitty that later got unused. But I think, other than that, Sauce definitely made the first song.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I joined like later, because I literally I got on the team because I just kept making remixes of the song, of like the songs, and then like I think Pig was like, hey, it's kind of cool. Want to come on? And I was like, sure.
So just make banger tracks of the thing, and you'll get the job.
Maybe? Question mark.
Have you worked on any other games as far as like music goes?
Prior I had been like, I think I contributed to like a few like fan projects. I'm not sure if they've ever been finished or not. I don't remember. But I would say during and after, what's that game? I contributed a track to Beetle Ninja, which is an RPG, and then there's this what is this game called? There's this other game which I collabed with I'm forgetting the names of like literally everything. But the song is called Please Behave Yourself, and it's a collab, and I'm sorry for forgetting the name of both the game and the person I worked on with. But I did a song for that. Title Pending is the name of the game. Title Pending. Yeah, so I did a song for that also.
Nice.
And just like contributing to like friends' projects and whatnot.
Yeah. So do you make music like as your main hobby, or is it kind of like a means to push other art as well?
I would say, although I've been doing music and I've been good at music for way longer, I think I just like making stuff in general. I don't prioritize like one over the other. I just enjoy making things and seeing how it turns out.
Yeah. I can tell you're a very creative person. Just like you got your site that directs you to all the other stuff, and that just already has a lot of personality. And then, you know, the projects that you have going on and whatnot, they're all very colorful and interesting. So I just figured the two things kind of go in hand. Like, oh yeah, I make music, but also, you know, if you like that style of music, you probably like my style of art too.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of answered this question already, but like, did you find the work that you worked on, or did you get contacted for work?
For title pending, it was me who like got myself on there, but for mostly everything else, people came to me.
It's kind of like if you let the work speak for itself, the people will come, kind of thing, almost.
I guess.
What was the hardest project you had to work on for PizzaTower?
I would say, that is a good question, because my brain doesn't like, I've never like, I don't think I've had a hard time working on a song, but I've had like a lot of fun working on a song. Actually, no, scratch that. Dungeon Freak Show was hard to make, but everything else I've had a lot of fun. The song that I had the most fun making is Pizza Time Never Ends, I think. I think that was the most fun I've had making it.
The whole motif, like, that's, super fun to work around.
Yeah. It's definitely malleable. It's definitely a malleable little motif. You can sort of just do anything with it.
Right, especially since the game is silly, so.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. I think it's time for the next song. And we got All There Is Love. Very nice. I love the lo-fi guitar.
Yeah. One thing about the guitar is that I put auto tune on it. Just for it
Oh,
to
that makes
sound
sense.
goofy. Who was that inspired? Because someone did that, and I'm blinking. Ben Levin is what I'm thinking of. I think they've used that trick before, and I was like, I want to try that.
For sure. Oh, now I'm gonna try it. From one artist to the next. So, if I'm correct, I think this is from your new game, right?
Yes.
And what's that called?
Cupidon.
Cupidon. Is that
Yeah.
short for anything, or is it just an interesting name?
I think it means Cupid in a different language.
Ah,
Sometimes when I can't come up with a name, I just go into Google Translate and have fun.
that's cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your game?
Sure. It's about the god of love, Venus, and he forgets about Valentine's Day, and he needs to get a ginormous amount of love to planet Earth, and he can't do that by himself. So he gets two random kids he found to help him.
Perfect. I played the demo came out like yesterday?
Yeah.
Or was it 2 days ago?
It was yesterday.
I played it last night a little bit, and you just walk around blasting people with hearts. So
Yeah, using a flower.
mm-hmm.
Which makes it hard to describe because like it's hard for me to describe it because like I could have. It's easy. You know what? The best way to describe it is that it's a flower that sort of works the same way as like a Cupid's arrow, but then at the same time, it's not always like romantic love. It could also just be like happiness.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I will say I wish there was like an upgradable Uzi or something so I don't have to mash because my finger was struggling at the end of it.
You just get a machine gun.
Yes, I need the Cupidon upgrade. That it's very fun.
I'll think about that.
So, while making games and stuff, especially Cupidon, is there any like main inspiration for that?
Cupidon was inspired a lot by Katamari in the way that like you go around the city with silly little characters and do whatever and just like get as much of them as possible. Sort of that sort of loop.
For sure.
Yeah. What else could be an inspiration? Well, like I guess like the sort of like outlined like cell shaded graphics that was sort of inspired by Jet Set Radio, but then to like add something unique onto it, I have the outline sort of like wobble in place, so like it sort of like mimics how like the more like the 2D stuff in the game look, where like they're like wobbling.
Yeah,
that's what I was going
Ed
for.
Netty type of like line boil stuff. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's a very charming art style, I think. I think my partner came in and said, is that Roblox? And I was like, oh no, it's not Roblox. But
That's what's fun. That's awesome.
So, what's your favorite game to play? I mean, you always end up coming back to it just for fun.
sort of a broken record, but Jet Set Radio and Katamari have been the games I've just been playing.
Yeah. I like playing Jet Set Radio in passing every once in a while. It gets frustrating sometimes.
I've played that game so much that like I've speed run the game and like beat it in like 45 minutes. I think.
It is kind of short, huh? When you think about it.
Yeah, it is pretty short. It's like 3, 6. It's like I think it's like 8 levels that you have to beat in total. I think.
Yeah. For sure. Have you seen that new game that's coming out?
Bomb Rush yeah. Cyberpunk. Yeah, I am excited.
Yeah, same.
I just wonder. I can't wait. I just want to play it right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it my all-time favorite game now? Who knows? We'll see. It has potential. Oh, that brings up an interesting question. What new indie games would you like to compose for?
That is a good question. I don't know. I would probably just say Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That's it. Because I'm not very like, although I am making an indie game and I have made music for many indie games, I don't really pay attention to like the new indie games that much, other than like what my friends are making. Like that's it. So I don't know. Probably like one of their stuff, one of my friends' stuff. That'd be fun.
For sure.
I don't know. It's either that or Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Probably.
That would be. I think it would be a good match. That'd be fun. I feel like indie games and stuff sort of go over my head, you know. Like when PizzaTower came out, the game had been in the works for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it at all until like it was out, and then everybody was talking about it. You couldn't take 2 steps.
That's my favorite thing about PizzaTower. How like for like most people, like there are people that like I know that like have like kept up with it like since like pretty much the beginning, but then like I like that the overwhelming majority just like for them it just like appeared out of nowhere. It's just like, who are these people? Why? What is a Torre de Pizza? What in the world is that?
Right.
It's just really funny to me.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy to think that, you know, there's games out there to this day that are getting developed that are crazy. Another one that comes to mind is that Bloodborne racing game.
Huh?
So a while ago there was a PlayStation demake of Bloodborne, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think they could go forward with that idea any further than they already did, so they turned it into like a fucking racing game. And it's insane. And I'm telling you, you need to look that up because I think
I'm doing this right now. Look at it. I am on Google Images as we speak. Is this guy in a wheelchair? What is
Oh yeah, Father Gascoigne.
This is so stupid. I love this. This is so stupid. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one too.
Oh, that's so funny. It's really good.
So is Cupidon your first time making a game, or do you have other ones?
Well, I think this is the first game where I'm like forcing myself to finish it. Prior, I had been working on an RPG maker game called Earth Mechanica. And while it was very fun to work on, I thought about, while working on it, I thought of the idea for Cupidon, and I was like, I feel like this is gonna be like way more like fulfilling to work on than this right now, because in Earth Mechanica, the idea for that spanned like way back, even when I was a kid, because like there's always been like some version of that I was working on forever, and then like sometime around like 2020, sometime around 2020 I was like, okay, let me like actually make this like a good game. And so I started working on that, and so and then after I've been working on it for like a while. It sort of developed its own style, which I still like. Then I thought about Kibidon, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this project on hold, and then I'm gonna work on Kibidon from now on. And then the plan is that once I'm done with Kibidon, I'll finish Earth Mechanica. that's the plan right now.
Right.
And then I'll be free.
Then you'll be seen as a super dev that you can just make epic games immediately.
Yeah.
Even though one has been in the works for ages.
Snap of my fingers.
Right. I had to mention when I was playing Kibidon, I think it's in the menu where you're looking at all of the different people and stuff. Mm-hmm. The Phenomenon song. That song that samples that. Oh yeah. So that song I made under a different name, Teeth Times, which so far the only public releases have been on this fake Numberland compilation called 18 New Messages. And that song is not on there, but it is from the same project that I've been working on under that name. I think it's only been like published as like a private SoundCloud link. I think it's only like available if you like go on my website and like click on it. But yeah, I think I very much enjoy that song. It's definitely like up there and like one of my favorites. I think it's just fun. It's the earworm of the ancient times. I was just taken back. I was like, wait a minute. In Kibidon, is there gonna, like, I've seen so far 2 levels, and then there's like a sky cannon level.
Yeah, there's 4 levels in the demo, and the last one is you go into the clouds on a hot air balloon, and and you're like trying to bring love to these like this like kingdom of cloud people.
Right. With cannons, of course.
Yeah. I think that has something, because I want to make like all the levels sort of unique in a way. Like I don't want you to be doing like the exact same thing in every level.
Yeah.
Like with the carnival one, you're you're shooting balloons and whatnot. And I have an idea for a level. Which one should I say actually? No, okay, I'll save that one. But I have an idea for a level where you sort of get like stuck in a TV, and then like for the first part, you're like in a video game, and then for a second part you're in like a soap opera, and you're like, for like the soap opera part, you have to go up to the like these like cameras, and you have to like record the scene, and then the actors like fall in love like in universe in their show.
For sure.
That's just an idea that's been in my head for a while.
It sounds, like, because the first 2 levels kind of the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, just so you can get used to the core. Yeah, and it makes sense after that just to break it up. So yeah, for sure. And then the other 2 levels are like more of what I have in mind. Yeah. For the rest of the game. I'll be real with you though. How the hell are you supposed to get all the? I don't know. There's bees in the section before the clouds, right? That I have no idea how to get to. Oh yeah, you jump onto the buildings. Jump on top of the buildings. I gotta use that double jump. Yeah. Oh. Why can she double jump and he can't? Because I think it's funny. And also, I like to think that like she just like that Chime just like learned that and then forgot about it, and then Venus reminded her about it. For sure. But the actual real life reason is that
before, way when I was first making it, I put out like a very early like demo build, and like they both sort of controlled the same. So it like didn't even like make sense as to like why you're a different character now if they controlled pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And so I both altered well, both of them go faster, but they both have different speeds now. And then also chime can double jump. So now and there's more stats to them that I changed, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And so now they actually feel like different people.
Yeah. Do you plan on getting any help for it, or?
I definitely want like other musicians for it, whether it be licensed music or people also making music for it. I definitely want some mixture combination of both for that. Maybe I might like find a programmer to like just in case my code actually sucks. I might have someone go through that and like make it good. But for now it works fine, so I have no worries about that. It would be nice to like have help on it, but at the same time I think there's something like special about it, like just like about it's just like me just like going wild. But then I guess it could also be I'm right now I'm literally like thinking about this right now as I'm answering. It's like I think it could also be interesting to like have like another person with like ideas with that. And so it's sort of a combination of both.
For sure. Well,
that's interesting though. I haven't really thought about it until like a little bit before I published the demo.
Maybe I'll make some tracks and see what happens.
Who knows? Anything could happen.
Right. All right. The last song. We're gonna hit that up real quick, and then yeah.
All right.
We got what's on the kids menu. I forgot. Okay, so I had 2 videos of going over all of the songs in PizzaTower, which doesn't cover all of them. Yeah. But people are so upset every time I leave this song off, and I'm like, trust me, I get it. I love this song too.
This song is the one that people are. That's crazy to me. I didn't think this was like something that like the fans would be like, oh, not this song. I thought people were just like okay, were just like, oh, this song's okay. Yeah, I thought that was the prevailing opinion.
I for the sake of variety, I kept putting in like different things and whatnot, you know. But
yeah,
there's so many goddamn songs in the game. It would be like a 3-hour-long video.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, let's hit this song real quick, and then
all right.
Yeah. Nice, nice. I love using this track in like the background of videos and stuff. It's just so chill. And then, you know, the guitar. Is that you playing guitar?
No, it's from Sonic Colors. There's two Sonic Colors samples. It's from the sound font from the DS version of Sonic Colors. It's both the guitar and the brass hits. They're both from Sweet Mountain, I think it's called. The song used in that level.
Interesting. Yeah, it just hits. And do you get your drum samples from somewhere specific? Because I need those.
So for the PizzaTower stuff, it's mostly sound fonts from Wappy Dog and just some Genesis stuff. And then for this song in particular, I think it is from Mario Kart DS. In my like more like original stuff, it's usually the 909 drum machine that I use frequently.
Is that like 909s? And do you have like a favorite synth, do you think?
Favorite synth? I usually just use like the default like FL Studio like plugins, I guess, the default VSTs.
For sure.
They have a sort of charm to them. I don't usually stray too far from them. I think the only like non-FL Studio synth that I use is like a Mini Moog clone. And that's it, really. I think that's... There was a certain period of time in my music where I was just like going to like old websites and like finding like the most like crusty VSTs to work with. There's this one VST that's like the UI is just like a bunch of stars, and you just there's a setting to like enable like all like the labels for them, but like on default you're just looking at stars and you're just like clicking on them. I was like
the confusing Starlight VST. That's funny. What advice would you give to, you know, anybody who's looking to get into making music in general or for video games?
I would say just do it. And it seems that's like very vague in a way, but like you really like just have to like push through it. Even if you think it's like sounds bad, like it's very important that you just like keep making stuff, because like your opinion may change on what you've made in the past, and if it doesn't, you still sort of get better. And also just like have fun with it, like just get a little silly on the song. Just like it's fun to just experiment with the different ways you can approach. There's so many different ways you can approach like music making and stuff like that. And so make sure to like sort of like experiment with the way you would normally do things.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the more willing you are to be silly, the more willing you are to experiment, and the more willing you are to experiment, the more you learn. You know?
Yeah. And then even within like a more like joyful, carefree attitude with music, there's still something like sincere that can like peer through, and it makes for some very good music. And that's the point.
For sure. If someone were going to try and sound like they were impersonating your music, what would they have to do, in your opinion?
First of all, download a pack of 909 drum machine sounds. Find some random bossa nova sample, and then something else random that makes no sense, and then put them all together and make it like 5 minutes long.
For sure. somehow extend that shit out for 5 minutes, be done.
Yeah.
For sure. So it's kind of, maybe it's too early in the process of this, but for this question, but like, has PizzaTower taken over as like all you're known for? And if so, like, how do you feel about that? How do you combat that? All that kind of stuff.
Well, before, I feel like I feel like it was more like that before the game came out. Honestly, because I don't know. I feel like as soon, because for a while it was like it really did like mess with me for a bit. After a while, I just kind of like got used to it and I didn't care anymore. And then after the game came out, since for most people it just kind of came out of nowhere, people would look into like, okay, who did this? He was responsible for this,
right?
And so I feel like more people like were actually more willing to listen to my stuff because of that.
Well, that's great, actually.
So yeah, I think it's less like that now. I think it's, and even if it was like that, I feel like now I've sort of like grown and I just like I don't I don't care.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's a waste of energy to sit there and, you know, and beat yourself up for not being perceived a certain way, you know, something that's out of your control.
And also,
and stuff,
like, is it a positive way? Like, they enjoy what I made, and it's still something that I made. So
yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like, who cares? It's good.
It's kind of a third world problem there.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to put out there that you want your fans to know?
All right, my adoring fans, on the night of March 17th, 2032, you'll get a letter sent in the mail, and it will have a smiley face. And make sure you bury this deep within your backyard. And if you live in the city, find someone else's backyard, drive really far into like the suburbs and find a unsuspecting grandparents' backyard and dig that up there.
Right.
And then I will collect all the energy from what you've done, and I'll sort of grow, and then I will be in charge of the world. And I think that would be good for society.
Nice.
Remember that.
All right.
Sick.
Easy. Very simple instructions. Easy to go by. What are we packaging again?
Smiley face.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's your favorite type of pizza?
It's like pepperoni. I'm not one for insane toppings. I like things. I like my food simple.
Yeah.
Same. I just like pepperoni. I think that's the best.
From where?
I like Papa John's.
Oh shit! You're gonna start a war.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Papa
Sorry. I don't like Pizza Hut. Like, oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
I was never a big fan of Pizza Hut. Actually, I will say, I like their cinnamon sticks or whatever that they have. They have something cinnamon thing or whatever. I used to have them as a kid, and that's all I like. Well, their pizza's all right, but it's not like good.
You'd rather.
And Papa John's is also like, there's probably better pizza that I haven't had, but most definitely better pizza than Papa John's, but that's the only one in my area.
See.
And I've had, I remember, I also used to have like pizza bowlies, but I do not remember what that tastes like, because it's been, I had to have been like a child the last time I had pizza bowlies.
Right. For me, the last time I had Papa John's, it was not good. However, I remember it being good, but only in one specific area. And that was like I lived in Georgia or something like that. But the Papa John's there was epic, and then everywhere else it was not. So
Yeah, I think it's, I feel like with every sort of like fast food place in general, it's like a roll of the dice to whether it's like very good or just like whatever. Like even like I feel like Papa John's will sometimes like put too much cheese on it, and so it just tastes like nothing, and it sucks and it's sad. But then other times they put like the perfect balance of like cheese and sauce, and it's like, okay, this is pretty good. I enjoy this. And then
for sure.
and the good thing about Papa John's is that it puts you to sleep immediately. So if you want to fall asleep, just order Papa John's, eat like 4 slices, and fall asleep.
There you go. It's better than NyQuil. You heard it here first.
Just eat a whole pizza box, and and then you've solved insomnia, I think. Just eat the whole box, and you're good.
Done. Just as a random off the wall question, do you think there will be a PizzaTower 2?
It's inevitable.
It's gotta happen, right? Like, holy hell.
There's nothing you can do to stop it, really.
Ain't nothing. Alright, well, where can people find you, contact you, and like show love and stuff?
On Twitter, I'm not calling it X. Shut up. On Twitter, it's just at Clascy Jitto. And then you can just find everything else from there. Really, just go to my website, jcportals.neocities.org, and then you can find everything from there.
Sounds good. Do you plan on doing a full Let's Play through Keep It Done?
I think after the game is done, yeah, I would. But I've also been putting up like the levels from the game up, just like recording, like basically recording gameplay of the levels of like getting like everything like 100% completed. And just in case anyone wants to like look that up.
For sure.
So
and
I've been working on that.
I'll put a link to it, the demo, in the description for y'all, so you can see that too. But anyways, that's all of the questions I have for you. It was awesome getting to know you and having you, so I appreciate it a lot.
It was fun. It was mad fun. I enjoyed it.
For sure. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too. You have a fantastic week.
All right. Peace.
All right. See ya.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. I know that these interview styled videos don't tend to do well on my channel at the moment, but that's okay. I just really like doing them, and I really thought it would be interesting to, have Clascy come on, which thank you so much for joining again. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next time, and stay safe. Later.